Go live now. Good evening. My name is Ainsley Reynolds. I'm a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, immediate past district director and president of New Jersey Association of Alpha Phi Alpha chapters for New Jersey. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated has a national program called Voteless People as a Hopeless People, founded back in the 1920s. This purpose is to educate people that are already registered, to get people registered, and just educate them on the voting process. We do not take sides in any election. We just want you to vote because we know how important it is throughout history, the importance of voting. So I'm just going to cover just very simply three things. One, how to register to vote if you've never registered to vote before, or you move and you have to re-register because a lot of people don't realize that. Two, to educate yourself on the candidates and actually who's running and in which elections. And then three, at the end of the day, the when, the where, you gotta vote. So let me begin. To register to vote, and I'm gonna focus more on New Jersey because that's where we're at right now, but it's pretty much the same in each state with little variation. If you've never registered to vote, first and foremost, you must be a US citizen. At least 17 and will be 18 as of the election, meaning that if you're in high school right now and you're 17 years old, but come November 8th, you will be 18, you can register to vote. And I encourage all these young people with this upcoming election, if you're one in that category, please go out and register to vote. Two, a resident of the state for at least 30 days. Now, I say that because sometimes some people move from state to state, or you're going away to college and what have you. If you're going away to college, one of the things that you want to do is you register to vote, and you can still vote at home, because that's actually where you still live. And you can do a mail-in ballot, or however your state allows you to vote, you still are able to vote. And the last thing is that you cannot be currently serving a sentence, on probation, in jail, of course, but once you have completed your sentence or for a felony conviction, you have the ability in some states, and you have to check your local state's regulation and laws, to re-register to vote. So again, if you move, if you're coming out of long-term stay, basically jail, or if you've never registered before, these are the categories which you must register to vote. And it's very simple. Like here in the state of New Jersey, you have until October 18th, 21 days before the election. October 18th, 21 days before the election. So again, I implore you, all you have to do is get this form online or go to your county clerk, fill out completely, mail it back, or walk into your county clerk and hand it in person. If you want a mail-in ballot, you can request that, and you should get it about at least 7 days, mail it 7 days prior to the upcoming election. So that takes care of that. One of the key things that I want to explain to people about this election in particular, if you watch the news, all you keep hearing about is a presidential election. And it's important. It is utmost important, a presidential election. But I have to tell you, there are other more important elections going on. Do you understand that your entire House of Representatives is up for election? 435 people. If you watch the news, you're probably not seeing that. So I'm here to tell you, pay attention. Your representative is up for election. In addition, 34 of 100 senators are up for election. So basically what I've just explained to you, 469 members of Congress, House of Representatives, and the Senate are up for re-election. That can change the face of our legislative branch. These are the people that make laws and policy that govern you every day at the federal level. So if you don't really understand that it is important to vote, besides the presidential election, I think I've just given you another reason. Not telling you who to vote for, just vote. Educate yourself. Who's your house rep? It could be your senator that's up for election. Make sure you know who represents you. We have the beauty of the internet to help you along during this time. It makes it very easy. Just Google it. Also, in this particular election, you really got to understand this, the next president that is elected potentially can change the face of the Supreme Court, because the president nominates Supreme Court justices. Currently, there's one spot open. Potentially, there's another 2 that are going to retire. So 3 of the 9, 1/3 of the Supreme Court is in the hands of the next president. You need to vote. The president nominates, the Senate confirms. So again, when I point out to you that it's not just about the presidential election, it's about the Congress, in particular the Senate, because the Senate confirms this Supreme Court nomination. This is the part of education that people have to understand if you don't remember from your history class how our government works. Executive branch, president. Legislative branch, the Congress. Judicial branch, the Supreme Court. All 3 are up with this election here. But again, all the way down, your local elections matter. Board of Education, your fire department, county legislators, judges in some other jurisdictions, even judges are voted upon. Prosecutors, in this day and age of what's going on, prosecutors. Understand, you have 1 vote. You must use it. It is utmost important. That's how you hold your elected officials accountable for their actions. Don't sit home and complain. Don't say, I don't like any of the candidates. That's besides the point. Educate yourself on the issues that are important to you and where each of the candidates stand. Don't worry about what the polls say. Don't worry about what your friends say. It's about you and your vote. You have 1 vote, 1 vote. Use it. Every election, every voter matters. Thank you.